So guys, what is going on? I hope you guys are well. I hope you guys are keeping safe. I hope everything's good on your end. I want to talk about a topic today that someone brought up. Lopez brought it up. Teofimo Lopez. And he said that Floyd Mayweather is ruining his legacy by fighting YouTubers. Right? How old is Floyd Mayweather? 44 years of age? 44? Floyd Mayweather for everyone. You know, I don't care when people say he picked and choose. Fair enough. They say he picked and choose who he wanted to fight. He fought guys when they were washed up. He fought guys too early. Whatever they want to say about Floyd Mayweather, always looking to diminish what he did. But you tell me a guy that fought everyone, a guy that got in the ring and fought literally everyone. I'm saying everyone. He got in the ring and fought everybody. Let's be honest. Everybody in his era, he fought everyone and he beat everyone. He had two close fights with Maidana and Castillo. And he went back and put it right. Beat them more convincing in the second time round. Floyd Mayweather beat everybody in his era. I don't think anyone can argue with that he was the standout fighter of the generation. You know, him and Pacquiao, you know, many Pacquiao fans will say him, but, you know, he beat Pacquiao as well. Floyd Mayweather was definitely one of the standout fighters of the era, you know, this generation, without question. He was one of the standout fighters. He was one of the best. And he fought everybody. So when Teofimo Lopez says that he's ruining his legacy, how? How? You know, he beat 49 legitimate former world, like he beat, not all, they weren't all former world champions, but he beat 49 legit guys. He beat, what, 23 world champions. That's ridiculous. 23 world champions. How are you telling me he's ruining his legacy? He's not, because he's had his career. This is not a career. This is showbiz. This is entertainment. This is an event. It's got nothing to do with boxing. I feel like a lot of these young boxers, you know why they're saying that he's ruining his legacy? They don't want him to do it because Floyd Mayweather comes back and he fights a YouTuber. It takes the shine away from them. Because these young guns, they want the spotlight. And they know by Floyd coming back, it takes away from them. Because if Floyd come back and fights Jake Paul, we'll all be talking about Floyd. We won't be talking about Teofimo Lopez. So a lot of these young guys are thinking that if Floyd keeps fighting and fighting these YouTubers, he can keep fighting these YouTubers till he's 50. And that's kind of taking the spotlight away from them. If Floyd wanted to, he could come back, right? He could come back. And you know this Tyson Fury-Anthony Joshua fight? He could make that look small. Literally, he could make that look small. I reckon if he was to fight Khabib, the fight with Floyd and Khabib would be bigger than Joshua Fury. And as ludicrous as that sounds, I believe that is true. I believe if Floyd comes back, if he fights, just say, like he's not going to fight a legit boxer now. But if he did, it'd be big as well. It'd be huge. Floyd fighting, and not a legit, like I'm saying, Floyd v Logan Paul or Jake Paul would be massive. It'd be huge. Huge. Right? That's the pulling power of Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather's legacy will not be ruined because he's done what he's had to do in his career. What he's doing now is entertainment. Teofimo keeps saying that, you know, Teofimo said, well, he's ruining his legacy. I disagree. I disagree. How? He's done it all already. If he wants to get involved in entertainment and exhibition fights, why is that going to ruin what he's done? Why is it going to ruin his... What, are people going to say, oh, well, you know what? You're not as great a fighter as you should be because you fought exhibition fights. You know, those guys that ruin their legacies are guys that keep fighting too long and get knocked out. Not having exhibition fights. Nobody's going to look at the exhibition fights. Nobody's going to look at the fight with Jake Paul or Conor McGregor or you know, these guys, the guy with the Japanese kickboxer that he fought, nobody's going to look at those fights in years to come and say, oh, that's going to define Floyd Mayweather's legacy. What's going to define Floyd Mayweather's legacy is the fight with Pacquiao, is the fight with Shane Mosley, is the fight with Oscar De La Hoya, is the fight with Canelo. It was a fight with Miguel Cotto, the fight with Marcus Maidana, Robert Guerrero, Victor Ortiz. Those names. Marquez. Castillo. You know, those are going to be the names that define Mayweather's legacy. De La Hoya, Hatton. These are going to be the names that define his legacy, that define his greatness, that define his position or his place in boxing history. Those are going to be the fights that determine, not Jake Paul, not Logan Paul, not the Japanese kickboxer, Nasukawa, or not Conor McGregor. Those aren't going to be the names that define his legacy. The fights that are going to define Floyd Mayweather's legacy is going to be the ones that he had when he was fighting in his boxing career. You know, this man fought Zab Judah. He fought so like I can go through Floyd Mayweather's resume is unbelievable, unbelievable. It's unbelievable. I don't care whether people say he fought guys past. Honestly, his resume is stupid. It's that good. That good. He's got a crazy resume. People say, well, Floyd fought Canelo past his prime, right? Or sorry, fought Canelo too early. But Floyd was 36. What did you want him to wait to get to 40 so Canelo can get into his prime and then fights Canelo in his prime when he's 40? You know, the fact of the matter is, right, Floyd gets a lot of hate. He gets a lot of hate. He gets a lot of hate. And listen, I understand some of the hate that he gets, but at the end of the day, for me, he's one of the greatest ever. He's one of the greatest ever. There's no doubt about it. Simple as that. He's one of the greatest. For me, Floyd Mayweather is one of the greatest ever. Simple as that. As far as I'm concerned, he's one of the GOATs. Without question. He's in my top 5 greatest fighters of all time. You know, wherever you want to place him, it's up to you. But Floyd Mayweather, for me, is one of the GOATs of boxing. Simple. I don't think he's the greatest fighter ever. But I think he's one of the greatest. Without question, top 5 for me. And I feel like him having some exhibition fights isn't going to jeopardize that position. I'm not going to say, in my opinion now, he's not a top 5 because he's fighting 50 Cent or he's fighting Conor McGregor. He's fighting... Nah, that's not going to affect me. That's not going to affect my judgment or opinion or on Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather's done what he's had to do in the sport. I don't expect a 44-year-old man to come back and fight tip-top competition. Why? What for? He's done it all. He's fought the best in his time. Now, if he wants to have some boxing exhibition fights with non-boxers and YouTubers, fair enough. If there's money to be made, why not? If there's entertainment, if fans are going to choose... At the end of the day, right? If you're not interested in it, don't buy it. Don't buy it. Don't tune in. But don't tune in and then you saying, oh, I hate it and he's ruining his legacy. These same people that are saying he's going to ruin his legacy, that is a joke, and they're laughing about it, they will tune in and watch. So, but yet they'll still complain and moan and groan and say that Floyd Mayweather's hurting his legacy. But... yeah, when it comes to fight time, all of these guys will tune in to watch Floyd Mayweather. He's not ruining his legacy. He's done what he's got to do. He's not ruining his legacy fighting YouTubers. No way. He's done it all. He's achieved it all. And I just think that, you know, people just want to hate on Floyd Mayweather. I don't know why. I've never been somebody that hates on somebody for no reason. Obviously, the Manny Pacquiao fans would hate on Floyd Mayweather because they're trying to push Manny Pacquiao as the greatest, you know? So I understand why they look at Floyd as competition. But I don't look at any fighter and look at, I'm just fair. I just give my neutral opinion. And Floyd, for me, is one of the greatest ever. He's top 5. Manny Pacquiao's top 5 for me. But I don't look to push a narrative. I don't say I'm a Pacquiao fanboy, so I'm gonna say Floyd Mayweather's trash. No, that's not how. As a YouTuber, I just want to be fair. Floyd Mayweather's one of the greatest, and he's not ruining no legacy by fighting YouTubers. He's done it all. He's beat everybody. He's fought everybody in his time. There's no one in his era that he didn't fight. Yeah, there were certain guys that I think he could have fought, but he didn't. But he fought all the best in around his time, most of them. So, you can't fight all of them. There's too many guys, that there's there to fight. But you can't fight them all. And he fought, like I said, some of the names on that resume are unbelievable. So you got to give it him, man. He's a great fighter. Not ruining his legacy for me at all. And these young guys that are saying that he's ruining his legacy, they need to start doing what Floyd Mayweather did. They need to start fighting each other. Like Teofimo already, after winning one fight, fair enough, it's against Lomachenko. He's asking for 10 million to fight Devin Haney. How long did it take Floyd Mayweather to start making that kind of money? Did Floyd Mayweather win one title fight or have one undisputed? Like, fair enough, Teofimo beat Richard Comey and then he unified with, or became undisputed with, fighting Lomachenko. But that's 2 fights. How many fights did Floyd Mayweather have? How many champions did he beat along the way? Great fighters. Fighters better than Lomachenko. Fighters way better than Richard Comey. And he beat them in good fashion. So now I think Floyd Mayweather's a great. And there's no doubt about it for me. He's one of the best. He's not ruining no legacy as far as I'm concerned. I know why people may dislike it. But for me, I have no problem with him doing it. To be honest, he actually brings a lot of attention to the sport. Whether it's good or bad, it's irrelevant. Good or bad, it brings more eyes to the sport. Simple as that. And more eyes to the sport is not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing at all. But that's my take on it. That's my take. What do you guys think? Leave your thoughts. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. And make sure to smash that like button. It really helps the algorithm. And I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.